Hello and welcome to our video on Aristotle's philosophy on happiness. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher who lived over 2,000 years ago and is considered one of the greatest philosophers in history. In this video, we will explore 10 tips for finding joy and fulfillment in life, based on Aristotle's ideas about happiness. Tip number 1. Happiness is the ultimate goal of human life. According to Aristotle, happiness is the ultimate goal of human life. He believed that all of our actions and pursuits, whether they be related to work, relationships, or leisure, are ultimately aimed at achieving happiness. Aristotle defined happiness as a state of well-being or flourishing, and argued that it is the highest good because it is the goal towards which all other goods ultimately lead. Tip number 2. There are two types of happiness, pleasure and contemplation. Aristotle believed that there are two types of happiness, pleasure and contemplation. Pleasure is temporary and comes from physical sensations, such as the enjoyment of food, drink, or sex. Contemplation, on the other hand, is a deeper and more lasting form of happiness that comes from thinking and learning. Aristotle argued that contemplation is the highest form of happiness because it involves the exercise of our rational faculties and allows us to understand and appreciate the world around us. Tip number 3. Live a life of virtue. To achieve happiness, Aristotle believed that we must live a life of virtue. This means living in accordance with moral values and principles, such as honesty, kindness, and fairness. Aristotle argued that living a virtuous life is important for happiness because it allows us to act in accordance with our true nature and fulfill our potential as human beings. He believed that we are naturally inclined towards virtue and that we are happiest when we are able to act in accordance with our virtues. Tip number 4. Live in harmony with your natural inclinations and desires. Aristotle believed that living in harmony with our natural inclinations and desires is important for happiness. He argued that we have certain natural desires and inclinations, such as the desire for knowledge or the desire for friendship, and that finding ways to fulfill these desires is essential for happiness. At the same time, Aristotle emphasized the importance of finding balance and moderation in our desires, as excess or deficiency can lead to unhappiness. Tip number 5. Cultivate friendships and social connections. Aristotle emphasized the importance of cultivating friendships and social connections, as these relationships provide support, companionship, and a sense of belonging. He argued that humans are social beings and that we need the support and companionship of others to be happy. Aristotle believed that good friendships are based on mutual respect, trust, and shared interests, and that they bring joy and fulfillment to our lives. Tip number 6. Lead an active and engaged life. Aristotle believed that leading an active and engaged life, rather than one of leisure and passivity, is important for happiness. He argued that we are meant to be active and engaged in the world around us, and that leisure and passivity can lead to boredom and a lack of fulfillment. Aristotle believed that we should engage in activities that challenge us, help us grow, and contribute to the common good. Tip number 7. Find meaning and purpose in your life. Happiness requires finding meaning and purpose in life, and this can come from activities such as work, hobbies, or volunteering. Aristotle argued that we are happiest when we are engaged in activities that are meaningful and purposeful to us. He believed that we are naturally inclined towards activities that allow us to exercise our faculties and fulfill our potential, and that such activities bring us joy and fulfillment. Tip number 8. Practice gratitude. Being grateful for what we have can help us find happiness and contentment in life. Aristotle argued that gratitude is an important virtue because it allows us to appreciate the good things in our lives and to be content with what we have. He believed that gratitude helps us to feel satisfied and thankful for the blessings in our lives, and that it can help us to find joy and fulfillment even in difficult circumstances. Tip number 9. Cultivate positive emotions. Positive emotions such as joy, love, and contentment can contribute to happiness. Aristotle believed that we should strive to cultivate positive emotions in our lives, as they bring us joy and fulfillment. He argued that positive emotions allow us to appreciate the good things in our lives and to feel connected to others, and that they help us to find meaning and purpose in life. Tip number 10. Find balance in your life. Aristotle believed that achieving balance and moderation in all aspects of life is important for happiness. He argued that excess or deficiency in any aspect of life can lead to unhappiness, and that finding balance allows us to live a fulfilling and satisfying life. Aristotle believed that balance is achieved through the cultivation of virtue, and that living a virtuous life helps us to find balance and happiness in all areas of our lives. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel.